From the walls of Nanjing to Beijing, that same spirit of peace and determination continued to grow. Some defended their homeland with their own bodies. Others fought in a different way by protecting the rich body of history that defines a nation. In Beijing, as war drew closer in the 1930s, the staff of the Palace Museum took on an extraordinary task: to save the nation's legacy. I'm heading there now to the Palace Museum, where over 1.8 million artifacts tell the story of China's history and its civilization. In 1931, the Japanese army seized northeast China. By 1932, Japanese troops had already reached Chengdu, just 200 kilometers from Beijing. Amid the mounting danger, the urgency to safeguard the Palace Museum's vast collection was felt by all. The museum staff began to prepare for the unthinkable, while ordinary citizens like Duo Chi-yun wrote impassioned letters urging that these irreplaceable artifacts, treasures of China and of the world, be moved to safety before it was too late.
夫故宫博物院古物陈列所所藏古物，协为稀世之珍，为本国之文化祭，为世界之文化祭，均以找为之所，妥为保存。
That wartime letter is now kept in the Palace Museum. Research curator Xu Wanling shows me the original, one of several records from that turbulent era. In the early morning of February 6, 1933, artifacts were carefully packed into over 13,000 crates and quietly began their journey south. For the scholars and staff who oversaw the move, it was a race against time to give these treasures a temporary refuge. As northern China grew increasingly unstable, the shortest route had to be abandoned. Instead, a more circuitous path was taken, heading southwest to Zhengzhou, then turning east to reach Suzhou, and finally traveling south to Nanjing. There, the artifacts were loaded onto boats, ferried across the Yangtze River, and safely stored in Shanghai. But safety in Shanghai didn't last long. The crates lay in warehouses by the river, easy targets for bombing. As the flames of war drew near, the relics were moved back to Nanjing in late 1936. In 1937, the Battle of Shanghai broke out. The treasures of the Palace Museum were divided into 3 groups and sent westward along 3 separate routes, under the bombardment of Japanese artillery. It marked the beginning of a decade-long, 1,000-mile journey. In those turbulent years, perhaps the most vulnerable of all, the scholars and curators became the bearers of hope, trusted with preserving the very essence of Chinese civilization.
So what I find so interesting about this story is it's like a book. There's chapter after chapter and danger after danger.
Yes. 这是当时载运文物的卡车，装的就是我们刚才看的文物箱子。这边是个山崖，而它的右侧就是一个湍急的河流。因为前边的道路断了，没办法通行，所以他们要想办法让这个车开到这个木舟上，通过这样的小舟把这个文物送到对岸去。
What threatened them was not only the gunfire, but also dangerous traffic and countless unknown risks. But they had a belief system. As long as the culture lives on, China exists. They never wavered in their mission. Zhuang Shengyan was one of them. He was in charge of escorting 80 boxes of cultural relics on the southern route. Zhuang brought along his entire family, not just to protect them, but perhaps because he didn't know when or if they would return. From north to south, Zhuang Shengyan followed the crates as the war closed in on him. He and his colleagues dodged bombs, but they felt a responsibility, moving again and again, trying to protect the artifacts while also looking out for their own families. By 1939, the treasures were hidden deep inside the Huayang Cave in the mountains of southwest China. For nearly 6 years, they would guard everything in silence, clinging to one hope, that one day these treasures would make it home safely.
这个手卷呢是一件复制品，庄上岩先生他收藏的。
This hand scroll records the story of Zhang Shengyan, his colleagues and family, living and protecting the artifacts in Huayan Cave.
文物呢，它就在这个山啊，大概是在这一块，这个茂密的树林掩盖的地方，其实这里边有一个山洞，描绘了这样的一个场景。这是一个很长的手卷，里边有20-20位的先生们写了题跋，都回顾了这一段历史。可以说，这样一个手卷也是对这段历史最好的一件纪念品。
Kind of a diary of the time, each one giving their own
对，
reflections.
是的，是的，
Yeah.
是。我们看到那个手卷传递给我们，我们才能更深的理解那一代先生当时是怎么守护这批文物。所以我觉得文物博物院它本身的这种功能和它的这个意义价值就是如此，我们要为国家保存我们的历史记忆。
And amid the chaos, all 13,427 crates, not a single one missing, traveled along the southern, central, and northern routes. They crossed more than 6,000 miles over 14 years through countless dangers. When they were finally reunited in Nanjing in 1947, the inventory revealed an almost miraculous fact. Virtually nothing had been lost or damaged. This became the largest, longest, and most extensive relocation of cultural artifacts in world history. A monumental feat of protecting humanity's heritage against the ravages of war.